We share. Oh, take a ride with me.
Hi, my name is Daniel Elisha. I was born in Saminaka in the family of Elisha and Bonnie, Amobai tribe. I did my primary school in one of the school in Haingada, Rahama. From there, I proceeded to government secondary school, Saminaka. I didn't take much time, and I got admission in 2004 in Gidanwaya for my NCE. I graduated. I got admission too in Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, where I obtained my degree. That is where my story began. I got to know my wife through a friend. Though we are in the same faculty, I was studying business education while she was in home economics, same faculty. We started like a joke. To God be the glory. We became husband and wife. My ordeal began 3 days after the wedding ceremony. Actually, we got married on the 1st of May 2015. The problem started 3 days after the wedding ceremony because of a project. When I was dating her, there is this guy, I don't know whether they are dating or not. Actually, I couldn't get the actual, the actual relationship they were in, even though she used to tell me that he's a friend. So I guided her on her project, how to do it, and glory be to God, she got it right. So I was like asking her, where is the project? She couldn't show me the project. So we were like cleaning our room. I lay my hand on the project and I went straight to the acknowledgement. To my greatest dismay, I couldn't see my name mentioned. So I was like, what happened? I helped you, I guided you in your project, but you could not even acknowledge me. And then we were even about getting married. In fact, I have paid almost everything, but to my surprise. So I was like asking her, she started shouting, why are you asking me? Must I write name? Who are you to me? I said, no. And her younger sister was like, no, Nandi, it's not good. It's not good. He was just asking you, just want to know what. She started saying, forget about him. In fact, I regretted why I married him. I said, oh, it has not gotten to that, please. I was just asking you to know, but it's not even important. If you like, you address me. If you like, you don't. That's not my business. But my joy is that you have gotten your project, yes, you've gotten your project right. So the problem started, continued. There, she stopped, having sex with me. She stopped talking to me. I thought it was a joke, trying to asking her what is the problem. Unknown to me, she called her pastor, telling him what is happening in the house. So I didn't know. From there, the issue continued, trying to nurse it. I was like thinking, what kind of life is this? At this age, why should I be having problem with my marriage? This is someone that I saw and I loved. I want to stay with her for the rest of my life. And this is what is happening. Does it mean that God has not answered my prayer? So I was like asking myself. I couldn't get the answer. All this drama took place in Saminaka within 1 month. On the 6th June, we left Saminaka to Kaduna. When we entered the room, she was sad. Normally, in our culture, when you pay dowry, there are items that will accompany the woman to your house. So I've paid everything. So when we came, those things were not available. So she got annoyed. She started talking to me carelessly. I told her, it is not my fault. All these items are still in your parents' house. And do you want me to still buy another one? She kept quiet. We continued life. After a week, she stopped talking to me. I was like, what is the problem? One day, I called her. Let me talk to you, please. I don't know what I have done to you. She said, you should be asking yourself. I said, oh, how would I know? You should tell me so that I will know. Let me adjust where I'm having issue with you so that life continues. We can't continue like this. Remember, we got married and we made all the promises in the altar. So why all this? We should not let the devil to trap us. She didn't say anything. I'm telling you, the story continued like that. No sex. She stopped cooking for me. She started misbehaving. She goes out without my consent. She comes back at will, and I cannot ask her. If I ask, problem. So I kept quiet. I was doing my own thing, and she was doing her own. Then I was still in school. She has graduated. I was still in school. Anytime I will come for weekend, that will be the time her friends or her brothers or sisters will come to the house and stay with her. I will not have a place to stay because we are renting just 2 rooms. So if I come and there is no place for me, I go to a friend and I will sleep there. That is how it continued. Until one day I was angry. I asked her, why are you not cooking? Why are you not cooking? She said, she's not my slave. I didn't marry her to come here and become my slave. I said, no, that's not what I mean. I'm just asking you, why are you not cooking? So that was our our second issue, because she was about going out. I was asking her. She fetched water, she wanted to bath. I took the water, I poured it on the ground. I told her, I can't continue like this. If you know you're not ready for this marriage, you leave me. You are frustrating my life. This is not what we have bargained for. You can't continue frustrating my life simply because you are not happy with me. And you didn't tell me my fault. So where am I wrong? You did not even tell me you are behaving like this. So she was angry. She took her phone, called a friend that this is what is happening. And the friend, I don't know who the friend was, she went out. I didn't see her. That was the time I called her pastor. Then all these stories were going on. I didn't even called the pastor that joined us. I was trying to curtail the problem, but the thing kept escalating. So I called her pastor, narrated the whole story. He said, "Thank God you've called. Do you know that she has been calling me, reporting you? This is what has been going on in the house." I said, "Wow, that's interesting." He said, "But because she's a woman, I can't attend to her. But thank God you called. On Wednesday, I want to see you. I will call her. You meet me in my house, then we proceed to church." So we met. He asked me, "What is the problem?" I narrated the whole story. He asked her. She narrated her own story. He said, "This is just a minor thing. You can resolve it. In fact, your own case is just a minor thing." She told him, "Sir, I don't have feelings for him." He asked her, "Is that why you're not giving him your body?" She said she doesn't have any feelings for me, so she's not even interested in the marriage. In fact, she has regretted why she married me. The man said, "Holy Ghost fire. This marriage must work." People talk, all his leaders talk to us, try to convince her. She said no. They prayed and we left. So I went to her parents' house. We sat, talked. I left to Kaduna. She didn't come back until after 2 weeks. So when she came, the same drama continued. I was like, oh, what is happening? So when I came for weekend, I went to the pastor that joined us. I told him everything. Sir, this is what has been going on. He says, "Daniel, I told you that this woman is this woman is that." I said, "Yes, sir. I was told too. It was my stubbornness. In fact, her friends told me, her neighbors told me not to marry her because she's the type that will not stay in any marriage. She's someone who likes freedom." So I said, "I don't know. I cannot even tell what precisely the problem." He said, "I told you, but there is nothing God cannot do. I am coming to the house." So he came, he sat the two of us, he talked to us. The pastor left our house around 1 o'clock in the night. Still, nothing happened. After a week, he came back again. Nothing happened. So we continued like that until I reported the issue to my father, the person who stood as a father for me during the wedding. He said, "Why are you keeping quiet? You have been keeping quiet. You should have." I said, "Sir, no, this is something that I was thinking we can handle it. Because this is marriage. You can't be telling people what you're facing, and I'm still young for all these things. You know, how many days now we're having this issue? That's why I don't know how you can help me." So he went and talked to the parent. We were invited. We sat, talked to us. The matter was resolved. So we came back. Still, no change. In fact, I don't even know what to say. I kept managing myself because who will I go and meet? These are the people who warned me not to. How will I go and meet them? I was meditating. I said, "God, I don't know where to start." I kept praying. So that is how we continue until one day she stayed late at night. She came back around 11 o'clock. So I was like, you can't continue like this. You are a woman. You can't be going out, coming back at this time, and you expect me to be quiet. When I talk, it becomes a problem. See, you have to adjust. You are the person that always come home late at night, and you are a woman. You are married. She said, that is not your business. She said, it's my business to secure you. It's my business to protect you. She said, I don't need your protection. I can take care of myself. I said, okay. All right. Anytime I make any attempt to have sex with her, she leaves me. We've been sleeping separately. So that is how we continue our life until one day I was angry. So why should this woman behave like this? Is it because I was the one who asked her out or what? Does it mean that feeling that she says she doesn't have is true? So if she doesn't have this, if she doesn't have feelings for me and she doesn't want the marriage, why can't she come out? I was talking to myself. So I called her. She said she doesn't have my time. She should rather stay with outsiders than staying with me. In fact, she said, let me tell you, I can't even stay with you. I'd rather die than to stay with you. Let me tell you the gospel truth. Stop disturbing yourself. I'm just waiting for time. When it is time, I leave you. I said, well, if you want to leave, just leave. Let me have my freedom. Is it because we got married in a church, you feel that is a license for you to be misbehaving to me like this? No, it can't work. If you want to go, go. Let everybody know that we are not together. But you can't be with me and you're going out at will, you come back at will, and we're not having sex as husband and wife. And then you expect me to be happy with you. Say, that's your business. Suit yourself. Say, okay, I will suit myself. Don't worry. So I call her attention. She said she doesn't have my time. I said, okay. So one day, my sister came from Abuja. She called me that she would want to pay us a visit. I said, call my wife, tell her. So anything you have, just tell her, don't call me. So she called her. So she was aware of her coming. So she left the house. When my sister came, nobody was in the house. I was in my shop. So she called me that she's in town. I said, go to the house. She said, I'm in the house. I said, and this is 7, nobody is in the house? She said, yes. Call her. And she called her number was not going. She said, okay, let me come down. And I was having customers, to attend to. So I had to leave them, rush home, open the door for her. So when she came back, around 9, so I was asking her, I said, where are you coming from? Softly, she said, am I your slave? Why are you asking me? Do you keep me to watch your room? I said, no. My sister told me that she called you. She said, yes, she called me. Why should I come and wait for her? Don't you have the spare key? She went inside, changed. She came out. I asked her, you didn't cook. And this is the time you're coming. And I've warned you not to be coming home by this time. She said, I am not your baby. I'm not a kid that you can be manipulating all the time. So you call this manipulation? You must tell me where you come from. So I stood by the door. She wants to pass. I blocked her. She said, allow me to. I said, no, you must tell me. This nonsense must stop today. You said you don't want this marriage. You either leave today or I do my worst. Let me tell you the truth. Because I can't continue staying with someone who doesn't have interest in this marriage. And people are seeing us, we are married. I've never enjoyed this marriage for one day. So I was like talking to her. My sister was asking me something. So I turned. Before I look at her, she slapped me. I said, what is it? She added another one. That was when she broke my mouth. I said, oh, I remember what your mother told you. At any time I talk to you carelessly, you should retaliate. Okay? Wow. So let me tell you, you don't know who you are touching. That was when I beat her. I beat her well. I told her, call your parent. Tell them that this is what I did to you. And if you're not willing to stay, you leave. So that was when the parent came in. Why should I beat her? They didn't even want to listen to what happened. So we are called to go to Zaria. That's where her parents are. So we went there with elders, everybody, my sisters and my siblings, 2 of them, had a discussion. I narrated the whole story. The father was like asking me, she told me that someone called her and you were asking her, what kind of man are you? I said, sir, I don't understand what you're saying. That someone was asking her that very day, you now shouted at her. Who is that person calling you? Don't you want help? Maybe that person was calling her to help her. She's a graduate. I said, sir, let me ask you. Do you know the time that the man called? The man called this woman around 12 a.m. when we were sleeping. I only asked her who was the person calling. That's just it. She started talking to me carelessly. I didn't even know that she reported the matter to you. I didn't know that she reported the matter to you. So, to cut the story short, talk to us. The matter was resolved, and I left her. After 3 days, she came back home. And we've not been talking for a period of 1 week. Even if I ask her to pray, she said, nothing good will come out of you. So I don't need your prayer. If you want to pray, just go and pray. Leave me. It's okay. The problem continued. Unknown to me, she was planning to leave after the quarrel. 3 days after, she packed her things. When I was in school, I was teaching in one private school in Kamazo. My neighbor called me, say, Dan, please come home. Something is happening. I said, what is it? Now your wife is packing. She came with a boss. She is packing her things. I said, no, let her. Let her be. I said, please come. I said, no, allow her. So she packed. I didn't come back. So when I came, I saw the room empty. She now threw the certificate on the ground. I picked the certificate. She packed almost everything. She left the cushion and the fridge. So I didn't call her. For like 2 weeks, her mom called. She said, what you did to my daughter is only God that will revenge for us. Say, Ma, is that so? Say, yes. You said you are a Christian. Let me give you Bible verses concerning marriage. She gave me Corinthians and Galatians that I should go and read. Say, I know all these things. I know it. So go and read it so that you know how to handle your wife. I didn't say anything. So when she packed, I went to my pastor. I told him. I narrated the story to him. So this is what happened. He said, okay, let's see what happened. He called. He said, when I get her, I will call you. Called her. I don't know their discussion. He now called me and told me that that she's somewhere. I said, okay. After 2 weeks, I called her. She picked. I said, are you satisfied now? She was quiet. I said, are you satisfied? She didn't say anything. I said, okay. I just called to know how you're feeling. Then she left with 3-month pregnancy. All my problem was the baby and her condition. So I was like asking her, please, don't do this. She said, it's not your business. Someone is taking care of me. I said, no problem. 5 months, I was looking for her. I couldn't find her. Lo and behold, her father called that I should bring their daughter to them. I asked him, is she your daughter or she's my wife? He said, I am telling you, bring my daughter. I said, I don't understand. Is she your daughter or she's my wife? He cut the call. Then conversation started between him and my pastor. My neighbor, they were talking on the matter. So as we continue, after 5 months, that was when my mother called me. She said, my son, I learned that your wife left you. All these things that was happening, nobody knew in the house. I said, Mama, who told you? She said, yes, I know. Someone told me, very close to you. I said, no, she's still with me. I was trying to hide. He said, no. I learned that she left your house. So call her now. I said, okay, I called. That was when she told me where she was staying. And she was also sick then. So I left for where she was in one primary health care in Marabarido. So I went there, I saw her. So the woman that was staying with her in the hospital, when she saw me, she said, are you the husband to this woman? I said, yes. She said, for the past 5 months, she has been staying with me. And she didn't tell me, and I didn't know you. The woman started crying. She asked me, what is the problem? I said, Mama, this is not the right place to talk this matter. I said, okay. So I went to the nurses, I asked them, how much is the bill? They told me I settled the bill. Then we went to the house, sat down, narrated the story to them. This is how it started. This is where we are. The two of them sighed. They said, wow. What about their parents? I told them, they know. They know everything. In fact, they are the ones engineering this matter. I said, okay. Go home. I will call the father. He is the senior brother to the father. I will call him. whatever we discuss, I will let you know tomorrow. I want to see you tomorrow by 4 o'clock. That's the time I will come back from work. I said, okay, sir. The next day he called me. So I went. He told me, truly, the father and the mother are solemnly behind this problem. So when I was trying to narrate your own part, the man was not ready to listen to me. All he could tell me was, this marriage is not by force. So if you have your way, leave this woman. The only thing I will advise you is the baby. Try and do your best until she delivers. I said, okay, sir. Thank you. So I left. After a week, I came back. Brought some items to her. So we talked. She was like, as if she was ready to follow me. As we were talking, the man of the house came. He said, aha, thank God you are here. When are you coming to pick your wife? I said, on Tuesday. Without hesitation. I said, on Tuesday I'm coming. He said, okay, that's good. She said, who are you coming to pick? So I smiled. Before you carry me, you must see my parent. I said, that one is not a problem. The man now rebuked her. Am I not your father? I was the one asking him to come and pick you. You are telling him he must see your father. Am I not your father? So I won't tell you anything except what your father told you. That is why you use it. She insisted. He called the father there and then. Father said, yes, he must see us. The man said, no, he is coming to pick her. I'm your senior, and I'm giving him the mandate to come and pick her. That was the end. On Tuesday I came. She was not in the house. She switched off her phone. Tried. We stayed there with a friend till 9 o'clock. She was nowhere to be found. So I left. After a month, I received a text message from her that she went for antenatal and these are the things that they need, about 30-something thousand. Say, okay, send me your account number. Send the account number, I transfer the money to her. If you need anything, just let me know. Say, okay. So we continued like that. After like 2 months, she sent me a text message that she is telling me her month of delivery is November, so I should be ready. I said, that's fine. So I called. She picked. So what was the next thing? What will I do? And how are we going to do it? So let me come and pick you to the hospital that you will deliver. She said, no, there was not any arrangement between her and her parent to give birth in my house. I said, is that a tradition? Is that your culture? I said, I have told you. So I went to that man, I told him everything. He said, forget about them. Let her do whatever she wants to do. Don't disturb yourself. So she left. Rosaria. That was when my elder brother called my sister's husband, narrated the whole story to him. He said, all these things are happening. You didn't even tell us until now that the whole thing has spoiled. So what do you want me to do? He said, that's why I called you. So he went and met her parents, talked. That was when I was invited. We went to the house, discussed. The parents said, no way, she can never go back to that house and give birth. They were trying to explain to them, it is not good for her to give birth in your own house. You are taking this thing personal. They say, lie. We will never allow her to deliver in his house. So, at the end, they resolved that she will go to my sister's house and give birth. So it happened.